So we showed off a few Overlord characters already, but there's one character that got buffed that I think is definitely worth revisiting, which is Shalltear. Shalltear back on release was pretty solid, but definitely had some issues. One of the biggest things was that she was this critical damage dealer, but didn't have any type of super crit in the kit, and her multipliers and stuff really weren't anything too crazy to kind of counteract her not having super crit, and kind of just left to her being a little bit power crept when other characters came out. But now she got buffed, and her modifier got increased all the way up to 110,000, which may not sound like a lot, but factor in the fact that the clone will copy everything that she does. So technically this 110,000 light damage attack on her true art is now 220,000. But if you don't know anything about Shaltier, let's break her down real quick. She's a very simple unit. She has one passive here, which is the Bloody Valkyrie. This gives her 100% crit rate when your HP is above 70% or more. The skill is able to lifesteal, the art is able to reduce light and dark res, the true art buffs up crit damage by 200%, and the super art allows you to summon a clone, and it also autofills your own arcade by 5. This clone, like I mentioned before, will copy every single attack that Shaltier does, except equips. In terms of the equip slots, she has all magic slots, meaning that if you are going to be using this character, best thing to go with is some type of archgen in most situations. I really like Exceed Zexes to give her a bit more lifesteal and harder content. You can also use her true weapon now, which is also pretty solid. This gives you 50% light res down, and if it's equipped by her, it autofills her own arc gauge by 2. If you don't want to use that, of course, any type of other self-sustaining archgen item like Rent Outfit, Alma's Hat, whatever would be great in this 5-star magic slot, even if you have to double up on 2 Alma's Hats for this character. For the 4-star magic, you could use a multitude of different items, but I like Narbril's Battle Dress the most since it does give me more damage to giant bosses. In terms of the crest slots on this unit, not really too much that you're going to want to do different here. Pretty much attack up and arc gauge up. Her animations, just like before, are pretty standard. I mean, nothing really too crazy happening here. See her attack skill, she dashes across the screen. Her skill, she throws out this little spear, which heals you a lot. We have this art, which is just a fire blast in front of her. The true art, which is just like an eruption of light. And, you know, it is very kind of basic, like both these. Just like, oh, she's just standing there with a magic circle. But, hey, it gets the job done. And the super art, you won't really be able to see too much, but she just pops out her clone, and that's it. That's literally the entire super art. It's kind of similar to Sunraku. It's not anything crazy, right? Nothing like spectacular happening here, but it gets the job done. Oh, and one other thing that I mentioned real quick before we talk about team comps and all that, why didn't they give the old units special artwork? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy that none of the old characters got SP art. So it should be no secret that Shaltier wants to be on a team that allows her to do crazy amounts of damage. And one of the best characters in the game to really help her with that is going to be Star God Lisa. Star God Lisa buffs up not only her damage for being a light unit, but also buffs up her magic damage as well. And to kind of give you an idea how it works, well, let me tell you, it definitely works. She is an absolute behemoth now when it comes to any type of damage that you want to deal with this unit. As you see here, we can actually use Nui's Parasol, or Shaltier's Parasol, my bad. We're gonna pop off with the true art again. Maybe we can actually kill here, possibly? Yeah, okay, yeah, that did kill. Easy. Now, unfortunately though, this boss does actually have crit res, which does kind of suck just a little bit. It shouldn't be anything too crazy. As you see, we're still dealing quite a bit of damage. But I don't know what it is. Against this fight, Shaltier takes so much damage. Look at that. Like, it's ridiculous. He's almost dead, which he should be dead on this one, maybe? Possibly? Is he? Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked. Another thing is, too, we are buffing up Shaltier's damage even more because of her Parasol, which does give a 30% light res down. But since we have it on Star God, we can use it twice, and we can actually get a 60% light res down. I wanted there to be one more Parasol. I'm not going to cap. I did try to go for Parasol, and I wound up having to pity it, as you can tell by my crystal count. As you see there, 31 million from Shaltier all alone, and wasn't even able to crit towards the end there, but still was able to deal relatively good damage due to all of Star God Lisa's damage spells that she was providing to her. But now to see how much damage she can truly deal against the damage challenge quest that's currently here with the Overlord. This is the team that I kind of came up with. We got the Ilya, we got the Narbril, and of course we have Star God Lisa. If we had Momon, we could definitely use Momon here and see stupid damage, but we don't have Momon, unfortunately. So let's see how much damage she can actually deal. If I'm not mistaken, you need to break this guy too. I mean, I don't remember, but I think you did have to break him. All right, so here is this. We're going to see how much damage she actually deals. This is going to be quite a bit. Oh my lord, that's quite a bit. That is just a little bit, something slight. I'm gonna see if I can maybe get into my super art with Star God Lisa. There we go. So we have a total of, what is that, like 70 or 90% light res down on the enemy right now, which is kind of ridiculous. That's the only bad part about using, well, I guess I say bad part, but one of the weaknesses of using Star God Lisa is that You can really only get that set up one time during a quest, and after that, I mean, you can't really ever get it again since you can only use Ether Recast once, unfortunately. Imagine if you could use Ether Recast over and over, that would be kind of dumb. Gamma's magic res now, we're seeing like, what, 260k per hit from Shaltier? That's not too bad. Yeah, I think we also have the magic damage buff from, what you call it too, Star God Lisa, which is kind of wild. Also, am I about to run out of my clone, or what's happening? Yeah, okay, I did. Well, I got my clone back. There we go. And that was it. The largest single hit was 599 million? Is that what that is? Or 59 million? I can't tell what that is. Also, that was the first time I did this. Well, okay. We check the detail screen and 556 million from Shaltier. Yeah, the buffs definitely did her a lot of justice. Granted, we're also using her on a very, very loaded team. But still, even without this type of stuff, she's going to be great as just a regular old attacker. Unfortunately, the Fire Summoner's Road is here, so we can't actually use Shaltier against the last stage of this, because this Yugetsu actually has magic res. I don't know if this one does. Let me check. I think this one does too, doesn't it? Yeah, it has, no, it has Demon Killer. Okay, well, that's even worse. If this was like Earth Summoner's Road or something, we could easily take Shaltier into that and try her out in that, but I think point is proven. Shaltier's buffs are amazing. She has the potential to do crazy amounts of DPS now, and she has some of the best units in the game to support her to deal that kind of damage. It still sucks she doesn't have super crits and stuff in the kit, but with the modifier changes, plus all the different units that we have now, she still hits really freaking hard. We'll have to see how long she kind of stays in like a pretty good spot though, because as we all know, we're going to be having a bunch of new characters come out to the game, and it's very likely Shaltier would kind of just get knocked down pretty quickly afterwards. But for right now, man, I'm going to say she is a very strong damage dealer. As long as you're not using her up against a fight that has like crit immunity, you should be fine using her pretty much anywhere. One thing that does kind of suck though is that she just dies very easily. I think it's just because of her low HP pool. Would really stay away from anything that lowers her HP because yeah, she be getting clapped. She really does. She just doesn't really stay alive when it comes to any type of hard fight, even if you have damage mitigation. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, have me check out either one of the other videos published right now. Great content, guarantee you'll love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.